So this video here is called I Built Every Lego Hobbit Set Ever Made by MKM Brick. It was released 2 years ago, and I believe this is every set. I don't think that they have any new ones for The Hobbit. I could be wrong about that, but I think they've been doing Lord of the Rings sets, so.
In this video, I'm going to be taking all the Hobbit sets ever released and recreate Bilbo's journey through Middle-earth in LEGO. If we take a look at a map of Middle-earth, we can find the approximate locations of the corresponding LEGO sets. With our base plates in place, we can begin constructing Middle-earth, starting with the Unexpected Gathering set. Now we can place down Bilbo's home in the Shire. Next, we build up some basic
I've always thought the Shire, Bilbo's home, is honestly just a very iconic set piece.
Looking really nice. Wow. As Bilbo is enjoying a sunny morning, Gandalf the Grey rolls into town. He asks Bilbo to join him on an adventure, to which he politely declines. Bilbo says his goodbyes and goes back inside his home. Then, before leaving, Gandalf carves a mysterious mark in Bilbo's door. Later that evening, Bilbo throws on his nightgown, which comes in this polybag.
Polybag action.
He sits down to enjoy some dinner when he suddenly hears a knock at the door. Dwalin the dwarf introduces himself and then makes his way inside. He heads straight for the food and starts demolishing it. Then there's another knock at the door. This time it's Balin the dwarf, who joins Dwalin at the table for food. Then there's a third knock, and this time it's the brothers Killy.
I loved this sequence in the movie series, how they just keep slowly showing up and ruining his night more and more.
Bilbo opens it, and Bombur, Bofur, Bifur, Gloin, Oin, Dory, or Inori all fall inside. And Gandalf the Grey stands at the back.
Pat said the new one and the old one are both good in their own ways. I think so. I went to theater to see the new Hobbit movies here, so I have a lot of memories towards these, but I also really enjoy the original trilogy as well. They're different for their own reasons, and they're good in their own ways as well.
Bilbo declines the adventure and then passes out from fear. Bilbo wakes up the next morning to a beautiful day, but then he realizes the dwarves and Gandalf are gone. He quickly puts on his backpack, grabs a map, and runs out the door. I built up a
It is funny though how they don't really wait for him. They're like, if you come, he'll come. If not, oh well. We move on.
And Bilbo is finally able to catch up with them. The entire company now heads to the first stop on their journey, Rivendell. The set is technically a Lord of the Rings set, but it's too good to not include. The company arrives at the beautiful elven city.
I do agree.
Rivendell.
It's a really nice set.
The elves allow them to stay, and the dwarves devour all their food. Elrond helps Thorin decode the map, and Gandalf discusses the journey plans with Saruman, Galadriel, and Elrond. I built up a path the dwarves use to sneak out of Rivendell as Gandalf discusses the journey with the others. The next set on the journey is the Goblin King battle.
Yes! I love this big fig.
While the company was
This is my favorite big fig that I owned. I never bought the set, I just bought the figure by himself.
Greeted by goblins and the Goblin King himself, who looks like this. While the dwarves were captured, Bilbo was able to
I call him Quadruple Chin Thicky.
He ends up falling into a cave, and Gollum starts munching on a goblin nearby. Gollum doesn't see Bilbo right away, which leads Bilbo to find a golden ring. Definitely not the one ring to rule them all, right? Gollum sails over to Bilbo, and they have a battle of riddles. Bilbo ends up winning, but Gollum knows he has the ring. Bilbo runs away and trips while doing so, but the ring falls on his finger and makes him disappear, which allows him to escape. Meanwhile, the dwarves are captured, and the Goblin King sends word to Azog. But before they can be eaten alive,
the Goblin King scene in the movie is wild, just with all the different orcs going up and down, working, and
dwarves start fighting the goblins while Gandalf does the honors
goblins,
of taking out the Goblin King. They all fall and are able to escape the Goblin Lair. I built up a small pathway that leads us to the next set in the journey, the Attack of the Wargs.
With the wolves, nice.
I placed down the set, and now the company minus Bilbo stop at some trees to rest. Unexpectedly, Bilbo catches up with them after escaping Gollum, and Gandalf is incredibly happy to see him. The reunion is cut short by Azog the Defiler.
I always love when people add little stop motion animations into their videos. It's just a nice little touch.
Gandalf, the dwarves, and Bilbo climb up the trees for safety. Thorin decides it's a good idea to jump down and fight Azog, and he's immediately yeeted to the side. Luckily though, Bilbo hops down and comes to his rescue. Then the Eagles Gandalf called upon come to their aid. They rescue Thorin, Bilbo, Gandalf, and the other dwarves, narrowly escaping the burning tree.
Ooh, a little bit of CGI
Gandalf,
work.
And the dwarves now seek refuge at the home of Beorn in order to avoid Azog and the orcs. I created a custom home of Beorn that the company can use to seek shelter. After building a pathway and some greenery, they all run to the barn and huddle inside, hoping to avoid Beorn. Beorn is a skin changer and was the leader of the Beornings, who's able to turn himself into a massive bear. After leaving Beorn's home, the company heads into the Mirkwood Forest, and Gandalf informs him that he has to leave. While in the forest, Bilbo climbs a tree to try to spot where they need to go next. As he climbs down, he's attacked by a giant spider and wrapped into
The
webs.
scene always grossed
Bilbo
me out.
uses his sword to
I'm
stab
not
the
one for
spider as it's
spiders.
about to eat him, and then
I hated
rescues
the scene,
other
everything
dwarves
about
from
it.
becoming
I was
dinner.
so
They
grossed
fight
out.
off the spiders together and even manage to rip all the legs off of one of them. As they're being surrounded by the spiders, Mirkwood elves
It did
come
make me
to their
satisfied
rescue.
though when all the dwarves started
Legolas
working
and
together
Tario
to like
capture the
annihilate
company
the
and take them
spiders.
back to the Elven Woodland Realm, which is where the next sets come in, the Barrel Escape and the Mirkwood Elf Army.
I didn't realize they had this many Hobbit
I placed down
sets.
the two
They actually
sets
did a
and then
pretty good
connect them
job
to
of
the
getting like
Mirkwood
all the
Forest
main
with
set
paths.
pieces
The
to the
dwarves are
movies.
locked in a cell, and Thranduil interrogates Thorin to try and figure out what they're planning. Bilbo was able to sneak away in the forest and comes to let them out of the cell. Bilbo tells the dwarves to get in the barrels to escape down the river.
Yes, this is a good hype scene with some very nice
Thankfully,
music.
the elves had a little
Of them
too
bouncing
much apple
around
juice
in
and
the
don't
river.
hear them. After they all roll out, Bilbo falls down in
Yes.
the river without one. As
Very
they're barreling
comedy.
down the river, the orcs attack them. Thankfully, the elves come to their rescue and take out most of the orcs. After getting out of the river,
Elves go
Bard the
hard.
Bowman takes them to Lake Town in his boat. He disguises them by filling the barrels with fish. Their next destination, Lake Town, comes in two sets, Attack on Lake Town and Lake Town Chase. I placed down the two sets and then placed down some plates to represent water. After they're smuggled into Lake Town, they're caught by the guards as they try to escape.
Honestly, Lake
The
Town
Master
is a
of
very
Lake Town allows
aesthetically
the dwarves to
pleasing
travel to the
looking
Lonely Mountain.
set
Billy,
piece and
Beaufort,
build that they
Oin
had
stay
for the
behind with
movie. I
Kelly,
really
who
liked
was
it.
shot with a Morgul arrow on the river. The rest of the dwarves and Bilbo journey to the Lonely Mountain, which is the next set on the journey.
The big dragon!
I placed down the set and the dwarves
The gold
arrive
3D
looking for a
dragon.
way in. Meanwhile, Gandalf and Radagast go in search of Dol Guldur, which actually comes together in 3 different sets: Dol Guldur Ambush, Dol Guldur Battle, and Witch King Battle. All 3 sets combine to make one scene. Gandalf sends Radagast away before entering, and while inside, Azog attacks Gandalf. And then the Necromancer,
watch
who
out,
is Sauron's
boom!
spirit, fights Gandalf and locks him away. Bilbo goes inside the
Yeah, I
Lonely
gotta say,
Mountain in
Gandalf
search
took
of
a
the Arcane
solid
Stone,
L with that
Thorin's
one.
family gem. While searching for it, Bilbo accidentally awakes Smaug and runs away with the Arcane Stone in hand. Meanwhile, orcs come to Lake Town looking for the dwarves. Legolas and Tario come to the rescue again, just in time for Tario to save the
I could be
dying
wrong, but
Gilly.
Smaug
Back
might
at
have
the
been one of the
Lonely Mountain,
first
dwarves
like
devise
bigger
a plan to stop
dragons that we
Smaug. They try
got. Maybe
covering him in
Ninjago
gold,
did dragons
but it
first,
only
but
holds him for a few seconds. Smaug escapes and heads to destroy Lake Town. As Smaug is destroying the city, Bard the Bowman uses his son to fire the Black Arrow. He hits Smaug and kills him, landing on the Master of Lake Town. With Smaug defeated, the other dwarves head to the mountain. They arrive to find Thorin going mad over the gold. Back at Dol Guldur, Galadriel comes to save Gandalf. Elrond and Saruman also arrive to help, and Radagast takes Gandalf away to safety. Galadriel, Saruman, and Elrond battle the Witch King, and Galadriel defeats Sauron's spirit and banishes him to Mordor. The final set is a battle of the
Bye-bye.
5 armies, which
See
is
ya
the city
later.
of Dale, previously destroyed by Smaug. The elves arrive at Dale to reclaim their gems from the mountain. Bard tells Thranduil to not attack the dwarves.
I swear the
He
elves
tries
only
to
show
reason
up when
with
it's
Thorin,
convenient.
but to no avail.
when they know that
Gandalf
like they're just
arrives
not
to
gonna
warn
fail,
them
they're
of
like,
the
okay,
orc
we'll
armies
come.
coming. Meanwhile,
Otherwise, we
Bilbo
don't want
escapes the
nothing to
mountain
do with it.
the
We don't like
dragons.
bloodshed. We don't
The
like
elves,
losing our
Gandalf, and
guys.
Bard arrive at the mountain to try and reason with Thorin, who refuses and declares he'll fight the elves.
The detail on these
Thorin's
figs
cousin
are
Dane
also
Ironfront
actually
comes
really
riding a
nice.
pig to help defeat the elves. But then the orcs finally arrive, and the elves and dwarves join forces to fight them. Thorin finally gets over his sickness and
Little
lets the
piggy from
dwarves join in
Minecraft?
the
That was
fight.
kinda funny.
Dwalin, Thorin, Killy, and Philly separate to fight Azog. Azog kills Philly, and then Bolg defeats Killy. Legolas finally is able to kill Bolg, but sadly Thorin perishes, but not before taking Azog with him. Unfortunately,
Bye-bye,
a little too
Azog.
late, the Eagles and Beorn arrive to finish off the orcs. Thorin is buried alongside Killy and Philly. Bilbo says his goodbyes to the remaining dwarves before leaving with Gandalf to go back to the Shire.
Kind of sad
Gandalf
that they
leaves
ended up
Bilbo at the
losing
end of
some of the
Shire,
dwarfs
and
after all that
he
time.
rests at home, until there's a familiar knock on the door.
But
Many
makes you appreciate them a little bit more, I guess, now that they're gone. That's the end of the video, eh? That was a nice little story. I like that. That was an interesting kind of different format compared to Duck Bricks and how he made a mock of every Minecraft, but did a very like long form talk through it all. And this is more of a story driven kind of way. Both great in their own right, but definitely different. So yeah, this was a great video to watch. I really liked it. And The Hobbit is incredible. I mean, Lord of the Rings, the whole franchise in general is great, but The Hobbit is just another one that I hold close to my heart because of going to the theaters and actually seeing the movies live and stuff. So great stuff. Very cool.